What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Footy Fans Podcast. Andrew, Santo, and Joe. We are recording this episode just shortly after the Manchester City versus Arsenal game, or the beatdown, I should say, put on by Man City. They've clawed within 2 points of Arsenal, but
Yep.
2 games in hand.
Yep.
And from this point out, it looks like this could be Man City's title to lose. What do you
Yeah,
guys think?
I would agree. Um, we kind of talked about this where um, we can see the progress they were making. And we've been talking about how like neither of them are like privy to dropping points or immune to dropping points. Um, so I think I more or less saw this coming. Obviously we were talking about how like the two games they had to play against each other were going to be like the big deciding ones, and like Man City obviously like took it to Arsenal this one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I mean, I would say yeah, it's theirs to lose. I mean, I would say it's done and dusted. Like again, like City could drop points, but it's definitely theirs to lose.
Yeah. And then I even said it the other day. I think if City won this game, I think that would have like been the title decided. Because like I said, they do have 2 games in hand. So assuming they win those, they'll be at 79. Arsenal will be at 75, and there'll be what, 5 games left.
Mm-hmm.
And then City would have to lose and draw 2 of those 5 games.
Yeah.
So very,
And
very tough.
And May 9th is the first leg of the semifinal for Champions League. So it's Man
Yeah.
City and Real Madrid. So that's going to come into play. 8 days later is the second leg of that. And then they also have an FA Cup final against United on June the 3rd. So just 5 days after the final game of the season. Do you guys think that they're going to have that also on their mind? Or do you think in Man City's eyes, the title is like the first objective to go? Or do you think they really want to get that Champions League title? Like, which one do you think they would weight higher?
I think they're like both. I think Pep's planning is like to his mind, like they need to win both. If anything, he might put the league over Champions League, if anything, I think. But yeah, not sure.
I don't I don't know. I would think he would prioritize Champions League just honestly because I think the league is probably done, to be honest. Like I know they're still like 2 points behind, they have 2 games in hand, but just the way, like even with Arsenal, like they tied the game 2 weeks ago against Southampton, I think, at home.
Yep.
Um
That was last week.
yeah. Like it's very possible, just the way things seem to be going, that Arsenal could like drop more points. So I think if there's like the week that Champions League is coming up, Pep might easily prioritize that game over the league, because he could still, like, even if he draws 2 games in the league, he's still going to win the title out of the, what is it, 7 games they have left.
Mm-hmm.
So even if they drop 4 points, they're still going to win. So I don't know. My hunch, they might really want to prioritize Champions League, but we'll see. I mean, they have the squad depth to like really just put out a strong squad in both legs, but I think he'll probably play the A players in Champions League, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's a good way to look at it. Even if they do, like, let's just say, have 2 ties coming up in the next 7 games or so, then they'll have the same amount of points. They'll have 75. Let's just say they
Yeah,
tie the next 2 games and Arsenal doesn't play yet, but their
yeah,
goal differential is plus 13.
yeah,
And I think that's what the first one, I think that's the first tiebreaker that they use. But if they didn't use that and they went to the actual like head-to-head match or something, they have
yeah,
2 wins against Arsenal as well.
yeah,
So everything does kind of slant towards Man City's favor.
yeah,
I'm just wondering if the toughness of schedule, because we've gone over it before. I think Arsenal has a tougher of remaining matches, but they had nothing else to play for except for the title.
yeah,
We know
yeah,
that they're going to go qualify for Champions League next year. Where the last couple of years for Arsenal, their goal was to just qualify for Champions League because they knew they weren't going to win the title. But
yeah,
now that they have that secured, their number one goal the last 5 games of the season now is the title. And coming off 3 straight draws coming into this Man City game, you could tell that there was something kind of, wrong with the team or something kind of on their shoulder, like a little weight on their shoulder. But now I think that this game's gone because I think there was so much hype towards this game that Arsenal were looking past the other matches and looking so forward to this one that I think it hurt them.
Yeah.
Where I feel like now that this game's gone, I think they can maybe just relax a little bit. And again, like their schedule is not like the easiest. They have to play Chelsea, they have to play Newcastle, they have to play
Yeah.
Brighton and Nottingham
Newcastle
Forest and
away.
Wolves. Yeah, Newcastle away, Chelsea at home.
Yeah.
That's a wash. But then Newcastle away,
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest away, and then wrap it up with Wolves at home. Um, at the last game of the season. That's gonna be tough. That's a tough little schedule remaining. And like I
Yeah.
said, Man City obviously has a Champions League games to look forward to as well. Where I think personally Pep would weight that higher than the league. Like if he had to pick A side versus B side to play in either game, I think he would lean A side for the Champions League match. Just because that is the one thing that's eluded Man City.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like them being back-to-back champs is obviously huge. And they've done it before, and he's chasing down like the three-peat there. I remember the commentator saying that today. He's done the three-peat at Barcelona, done the three-peat at Bayern Munich, and now he wants to do it with Man City. But he also won Champions Leagues with those clubs.
Yeah.
And we've seen it before where they kind of get to that last hurdle for Champions League and they can't get over the hump.
Yeah.
I think no matter what, the winner of Champions League is coming out of this leg, whether it be Real Madrid or Man City. I
Yeah.
think they're both stronger than Milan and Inter. But I think he just wants this so bad, and the club wants it so bad that they might have like their sights set on the Champions League more than the title this year. What do you guys think?
No, I think that's a fair point. The only thing is that Champions League is after the season, so
Well, the
it's like
final.
yeah,
Yeah.
But he has 2 games midweeks.
Yeah, they got to prioritize the 2 games against Real Madrid.
yeah. So you
Like
definitely got to
from now,
prioritize. You
so
definitely got to
from
prioritize.
now until that game, they have 3 Premier League games.
Yeah,
From now until their first leg with Real Madrid, which what did I say it was the ninth? Yeah, they're hosting Fulham, they're at West Ham and at Leeds, and then the game against Real Madrid. So they got 4 games coming up in like 10 days.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's one of those things where because if you don't win the league and then you go to the Champions League final and you don't win, then you didn't win anything.
Imagine that. Oh my, that is a possibility.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean they'll prioritize the Real Madrid games. But yeah, I think we can't know what Pep is kind of doing in the locker room, but I think he's kind of strategically thinking really how do they just win both.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's gotta be like your mindset, but I don't know. I think if they had to, like I said, if you had to do 1A, 1B, I think they'd be looking at the Champions League title as more of a
Yeah.
priority.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree.
like obviously, like the Premier League, it encompasses an entire year of planning and playing. Like 38 games is a lot of games. Like,
Yeah.
we play like 12 in our league, and that's a lot.
Yeah.
Imagine doing like 3 times that. So there's obviously a lot more weight behind those, but like they've done them before. You know what I mean? They've won them before. It's like us. If we were trying to like win our league and we won it like 3 years in a row, that's great. We really want to win Ontario Cup. That's like our goal. It's like I'd rather win Ontario Cup than win the league again.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I just wonder if like again, like you mentioned, like the drop in quality isn't very like big for Man City.
Mhm.
Like if they were to
Yeah.
take players in and out of the squad. Like today they had Gundogan and like Mahrez swapping in and out. They had Foden on the bench sitting there. They had Alvarez like getting ready. Like they got some good guys that can just kind of go into play.
Yeah.
But I think if they were to make like an ultimate squad, like an elite squad, it'd be for Real Madrid, and then they'd have the other guys rest for those other 3 games.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
don't know.
because they're playing what they got Fulham away. They might put out a decently good squad for that one. But then no disrespect to Leeds and West Ham, but they're not having the best season. So,
Mhm.
It
The
wouldn't
Chelsea- yeah.
it wouldn't make sense to put out maybe it makes sense to rest Holland and De Bruyne for those games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like I said, even like the guys that they bring in are pretty quality.
Yeah, you're gonna bring in Alvarez and anyone like
Yeah,
Gundogan,
Gundogan.
Rod,
Yeah.
like Gundogan, Rodri, and Bernardo Silva in the mid, just to give De Bruyne a rest, and you're still like top quality.
Yeah, maybe I'm nitpicking a little bit or being like too dramatic, but I just think, yeah, I think in their eyes, I think the Champions League title is like the big one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they've done enough now the last half of the season since Christmas, pretty much since the winter break. They've done enough to put the pressure on Arsenal, obviously. And I mean, like look at the mountain they've climbed. I think they said 8 weeks ago it was a sorry 3 weeks ago it was an 8 point lead for Arsenal
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
when all I think all games were level at that point. And then like the games in hand kind of happened because Man City had to play Champions League and blah blah blah. And so they were 8 points up 3 weeks ago, and now they're potentially going to be what 4 points ahead
Mm-hmm.
when all said and
Yeah.
done, when they're all level again. So that's like a 12 point swing in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like that's
Huge.
impressive.
Yeah.
And it is partly due to like Arsenal drawing their last three matches.
Yeah.
They were behind in the Southampton game. Uh, they left it really late in that one to even to squeak out a point off that. West Ham and London Derby always hard to play there. They took the early lead. 10 minutes in the game, they were up 2-0 in that game. They let that slip away. And before that was the Liverpool match, which was like firecrackers. Another late equalizer from Firmino in the 87th minute, like kind of sealed the deal for that one. And since then, they haven't won a game.
Yeah. And yeah, we've seen it before where like Man City, like towards like the end of the season, they just like start turning the burners on. They just like keep winning and winning and winning, right? And they make up points on like the team. They did it with Liverpool. Um, so that's the thing, they just know how to win and get the results, and I think that's why it makes it so challenging for other teams to win.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we even said that a couple weeks ago. Like it was Arsenal's title to lose because we called it. We said Man City could easily win out the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I think at
Yeah.
that point they might have had 12 or 13 games left during that podcast episode. And we're like, yeah, like they can win out. Like without even looking at the schedule.
Yeah.
Like it's just we've seen them do it before.
Yeah.
And they've been literally doing it since. Like I don't know when their last real points dropped was.
I think I just looked. It was Nottingham Forest.
Yeah. February 18th.
Yeah.
That was a draw. Yep. So
Yeah. So they
they've been
just
on
like
a
win
win
games.
streak. They've been on a Premier League win streak since February 18th.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Arsenal has not.
Arsenal has not, no.
No, they've dropped points in the last four.
Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah, lost today and then three draws in a row.
Yeah.
I really wish Arsenal would have just like secured the deal, man. Like I was so rooting for them.
Honestly, like
I just don't want to see Man City win it again.
I was talking to Joe, like if you would have told Arsenal at the start of the season, if they finished second, massive successful season, right? Huge. Last season,
Yeah.
they're like relegation zone, like Arteta's, I don't think he was ever risked of getting fired, but
Mhm.
bottom of the table, they like shoot up, don't make Champions League, right? But like huge change. And then they go into this year and now they're like contending for the title. It's like a 2-year turnaround. Like we never see
Yeah.
that, right? We see it like takes time to build, but huge turnaround in 2 seasons. So like them competing for the title is obviously amazing, but I think it's just a matter of perception, right? Like still finishing second after where you were 2 seasons ago is like a huge improvement. So it's just like I think it's just like a lot of optimism on their point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like
Like,
Go
yeah.
ahead, Joe.
No, like you said, you go from last to you've been in first for most of the season. You're just hitting a little roadblock at the end here. Which, they'll learn from. Granted, if they don't win the season, they'll learn from this again, just like they
Yeah.
did last year. They didn't make Champions League and then turned it around. So like this, they'll have the experience they need. They have a young squad, so they'll be like, hey, like, we were first for most of the season, but like we can't get complacent ever if you want to win the title. So, if they don't win this year, I mean, whatever happens, they'll take that as learning for next year. And, I'm sure they're going to, just the way things have been going, I'm sure they're going to be at the top for a while to come now.
Yeah, with this squad, they should be.
Yeah.
Sanjay, you mentioned, you said if you would have told Pep at the beginning of the year that they finished second, like, would you be happy, whatever? I think the first thing he would ask would be like, how many points did we lose by?
You mean Arteta? If we
Sorry,
told our
Arteta. Yeah, sorry, Arteta. If Arteta was like asked that question, I think his first question back would be, how many points did we lose by?
yeah,
Like
true,
that's just the nature he's in. Because if they're like, oh yeah, you got blown out, Man City carried the ship and like won the whole thing, then that's one thing. But if you're like, oh, you were there and you lost by like 3 points, like he'll be pissed.
true.
Like it's, I get what you're saying. Like it is, like you are climbing mountains. You are like, like
Huge
stepping
leaps and
stones kind of
bounds.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah, huge. I get it. Like it's like you just mentioned, like they were almost in relegation zone for the first month of the season last year, and to make the comeback like they did was incredible. But at a club like Arsenal, like I think their confidence was just so high. Like coming into this year, I think they had title expectations this year, no matter what. Like, 'cause when you finish fifth place and you are a team like Arsenal and built like Arsenal, you should be able to gauge yourself like how good you actually are.
yeah,
So I think coming off of how they finished last season, crushing that they didn't make Champions League, but if you can come off that season, build some new players up, bring some new guys in, like Gabriel Jesus, Zinchenko, bringing them in this year is huge. I think they were so confident going in this year that they were like destined to win the title. Like they think that they knew that they were going to win because we knew Chelsea was going to be Chelsea. Liverpool's kind of falling off already. And then they knew the biggest contender was going to be Man City. And to have this season that they've had so far and get this close,
yeah,
like that's tough, man.
yeah,
Like that's a tough way to go out.
yeah,
And again, they did to themselves. Like they've dropped all these points without playing Man City, and then when the game that matters most comes up, they shit the bed and lose 4-1.
yeah,
Like, we didn't even mention the scoreline. Like 4-1 loss at the
yeah.
Etihad.
Kevin De Bruyne just being Kevin De Bruyne again.
Oh god, what a beauty.
Yeah, like both his
Question,
goals. Like
questionable goalkeeping from Ramsdale a little bit, I think. But
maybe.
still, like oh, he's so good.
Yeah,
Like he pours it on when he has to.
yeah, yeah,
Like he's
for
kind of
sure.
been backseat this year to Haaland, obviously, kind of everyone has in the league. But he's been there pulling the strings though, getting like half the assists on his goals. But the last couple of years, we've seen De Bruyne like have glimpses of magic where he can run the full pitch and score and have a rocket to the top corner, and we haven't really seen that from him much this year.
Yeah,
And then like he just shows
he
up when
just
the
like shows up.
spotlight's on him,
Yeah,
Yeah.
like when they need him most. Maybe not even need him most, but like when again, yeah, the spotlight's on and like the game's like the biggest, he shows up
yeah,
like all the time.
yeah, yeah. Wild. Yeah,
So good.
yeah,
So from here, like Arsenal, like we said, they have Chelsea, Newcastle, Brighton, Nottingham Forest, and Wolves. City, the remainder schedule for the Premier League: Fulham, West Ham, Leeds, Everton, Chelsea, Brighton, and Brentford. There's some teams that are in there that have a lot to play for. Maybe not as competitive as like Newcastle would be
yeah,
in that kind of fixture, but you know, Brentford and Brighton are kind of going for Europa League spots potentially.
yeah,
Everton and Leeds trying to avoid relegation, West Ham as well. Like they're not going to be pushover games, but I would take the Man City schedule over Arsenal's for sure.
yeah, yeah. I would definitely agree. Um, but again, like it's one of those things. Like wouldn't really matter what city. I mean, it would matter, but it's one of those things. Like when City's on this roll here, especially now, like I would put it like no matter what their schedule would be, that they would win out, knowing that they're in the
Yeah.
driving seat now. Like, I think would definitely put my money on that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys think they're hopefuls for Champions League?
What's that?
Do you guys think that they're hopefuls for Champions League? Like, are
I
they
don't know.
the
Champions League is
favorites?
one of those things. Like it comes down to the day, right? Like
Yeah.
like the Real Madrid game that was just like a goal scoring galore. Um, like City showed up, but then Real Madrid just like put some in, and it was just
Yeah.
like whatever it was, like a 20-minute lapse by City. That's all it took,
Yeah.
and otherwise the tie would have been decided.
Mhm.
Real Madrid
And
just like
City would have won, but it just like a small lapse like that you can't ever prepare for.
yeah.
Just like basically decided the entire tie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where Real Madrid did what they do. They just found a way to win in Champions League again.
Yeah, for sure.
So
And
yeah,
first leg is in Spain, second leg would be back in England, so I mean, everything to play for, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now on the other
Yeah.
side of things,
I
you got the
think,
Milan derby. Like, what the hell?
yeah, I mean, I think that favors City more. Because last time it was like they got the result at home, and then they had to go to the Bernabeu, which I think
Hmm.
was really tough. Like, yeah, Real Madrid was just like feeling it. I
Yeah.
think this reverse fixture like really benefits City.
Yeah. Because and I think that was the thing. Real Madrid got that goal and just like you're
That
rattled. You're rattled if you're
that
City, right?
you're
Hmm.
rattled because you don't like the crowd's definitely not behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so there was like really just nothing. They just were flustered, and you know how the Bernabeu gets behind Real Madrid, and it was just like that was it. But
Hmm.
yeah, I think if City can get that away goal, or no, it doesn't even matter, right?
So they don't matter now, yeah.
Yeah. So
But still, just to be ahead,
yeah,
to get a draw out of that first game, like your confidence is huge.
yeah,
Like a win's obviously massive, but even like a draw in the away
yeah,
fixture, like
yeah,
you have all momentum going back home.
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
Because I do like being the home team in the second leg because you can come out of the first leg and like even if it's 1-0, you're like, okay, we can go back home and like get the crowd behind us, so it's still like a win.
Yeah.
Um, because like if you go back home and you get that goal, especially now because away goals don't matter.
Yeah.
You go back home and you get that first goal, it's like very tough for the away team to like, you know, you know, because you're going against the crowd now too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And then also the possibility for extra time or penalties you'd be at home for.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like if they did both finish 0-0, let's just say. You
yeah,
have all extra time and penalties at your own barn.
yeah.
So yeah, no, I think it would just the fixture setup does favor Man City, I think.
Hmm.
Um and then again like low key like FA Cup final match against Man United June 3rd. Like they have a lot going on still.
Yeah.
Like they have two, four, six. They still have 10 games remaining. Arsenal just has five, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, they have double the amount of games in almost the same amount of time. I don't know. That might play a little factor, boys. Like
Well, I mean, FA,
it's gonna have Pep moving and shaking a little bit. FA Cup,
yeah,
whatever. That final, whatever.
yeah,
They have 9 games. Let's just say 9 games that mean something in the same amount of time.
yeah,
Pep's gonna have to do some bouncing around because it's not like week gaps between fixtures, right?
yeah,
You're playing every 4 days from now. So from April 30th until May 28th, they're playing 9 games in like 28 days.
yeah. It's a
Yeah.
lot.
Math. That's like almost 3 games a day. Oh, sorry, a game every 3 days,
Yeah,
almost. So yeah,
just
he's
about.
Pep. Yeah, Pep's gonna have to do some shifting around there
Yeah.
just to keep the boys fresh.
Yeah. And I think if any team can do it, it's City, right? So I definitely wouldn't put it behind them or past them to get all three titles.
Yeah. God, that'd be crazy still. What a
Yeah,
run.
yeah.
What a run they could put on here.
Mhm.
Um, so this podcast was supposed to be a quickie just on Man City Arsenal. I can't not just say that how bad Chelsea is.
It's still an 11th,
Yeah, I
10th and
know.
11th.
Dude, I wish we were dropping. I really wish we were dropping the table. Like I want to finish 15th, but we just can't because everyone behind us sucks. But under the new Lampard era, 6 games in total, including Champions League, 5 losses in a row in the Premier League, 1 goal in those 5 games.
Jeez.
Yeah.
They There's a stat I saw during I think it was the Brighton match last week. It was Lampard has managed 18 games in 2023, including the games with Everton. I think he has 2 wins and 1 draw,
Oh, geez.
or 1 win and 2 draw. Sorry, like 18 games, and then only like 5 or 6 goals scored from the team.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah. No, that's
Um,
rough.
Rumors of him being sacked now, even before the end of the season. Um,
I don't know if that really benefits anyone.
I don't either. And
I did.
Pochettino seems to be the newest guy that's going to come in.
That'd be helpful.
He's the front runner now. Nagelsmann like legit said no, like I'm out.
Yeah.
Like he just backed out. And it seems that Poch now is kind of the front runner. Luis Enrique was mentioned a couple of times too, the ex-Barcelona boss.
Yeah.
But it looks like Poch now might be coming back to London, this time wearing blue instead of white. I don't hate it because he does know the league pretty well.
Yeah.
He had a decent run with Tottenham. People are gonna make fun of him and trip him a little bit, saying that he never won anything with Tottenham, which is true. I mean, the stats show for itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, he never won anything domestically. Didn't win any cups really domestically. Um, Helped bring Tottenham to Champions League final. No, I want to say,
Yeah.
or was that? Yeah, I think it was him. So he definitely has pedigree, but like again, like you need someone that knows a winning culture to go to a team like Chelsea. I don't know if it's gonna prove beneficial or not, but just to
Yeah.
get someone in there who's competent because like the last couple guys in there have not done a good job.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
know.
Yeah.
like yeah, it's one of those things. You just gotta like figure it out. Hopefully, get a manager that can do what Arteta did with Arsenal and just like bring the team.
That's like
So,
the ultimate dream. Like literally
yeah,
3 year rebuild, and you're back in like title contention.
yeah,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, I literally watch the games now to watch them lose. Like I go with the smallest expectations because like before, like last year, year before, I'd be like, okay, yeah, we're gonna win this game. We're playing against Wolves. Oh yeah, we're gonna win this game. We're playing against I don't know Crystal Palace or something or
yeah,
Southampton. And now it's like we're gonna lose every game. Like if we get a goal, if we hit a post, that's like a celebration time.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
they're like we're
so,
bottom four in goals for like in the entire league, but we're also like top four in goals against, like in like
oh yeah,
a good record. So like this team's just so weird.
Yeah.
And like we just said, like they're only in 11th place for the entire season because everyone below them just keeps losing games. Like they are so directly in the middle. It's not even funny.
yeah,
But like their next match is against Arsenal. So let's just say we lose that one. If the teams behind us, if Palace and Wolves both win those games, we're in 13th place. And I'll be
Yep.
happy with that. I want that to happen.
yeah,
I want to slide as low as we can get to relegation zone without actually going down. We're 10 points safe right now. So hopefully that's enough. But I want to go as low as we possibly can without getting relegated just because I want to feel the pain. I want to feel what it's like to be down there with those bottom feeders because that's what we have to get back up.
yeah,
You can't just stay 11th. Be like, oh yeah, we 11th place the entire time, like whatever. No, you stink. You're putting up terrible records, terrible results. It's an embarrassment showing on the TV. You gotta feel the pain. You gotta go be where you belong in the table.
yeah,
Don't be like, oh yeah, we're just 11th place, we're a mid-level team, blah blah blah. No, you get down there. You get to 14th, 15th place. You go sniff around with Leeds and Bournemouth where you belong. That's how I feel right now.
Yeah.
Is that too much? I don't know.
no, that's fair.
Honestly though, this is such a
Yeah,
weird season.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like I've been table watching everywhere. I still watch every Chelsea game, but I've also been, tuning into the relegation battle. I've been watching Leicester play a lot. I've been watching obviously the Newcastles play a lot. And so from those two ends of the spectrum, like it's been a hell of a season.
yeah. No, it has been for sure. Really exciting. Everywhere at the table, it's been good.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom three right now: Leicester 18th, Everton 19th, Southampton 20th.
Yeah,
Yeah, it would be heartbreaking to see Leicester go down.
Bro, we were talking about how much talk was about Everton last season, possibly getting relegated. Now it's like Everton and Leicester are both in the zone.
yeah,
Yeah. After
crazy.
all of that last season with Everton, it's just
Yeah,
man.
they were almost the story of the season in the last 2 months
Yeah.
because of what's happening right now. Like nothing's changed. Like they're still down there.
Yeah.
28 points. Again, only one win clear of getting to 16th. As well, same with Leicester. They have 29 points, so one win propels them to 16th place. It'll drop Leeds down, Nottingham Forest, those kind of teams. I think Leeds, Nottingham Forest, Leicester, Everton, and the Southampton's gone. That ship has sailed. They have 24 points. I don't see them coming back at all.
Mhm.
But between Leeds, Nottingham Forest, Leicester, and Everton, it's separated by 2 points.
Yeah.
For those last two relegation spots. So four teams. You want to throw Bournemouth in there with 33 points? Sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
But those are the teams to watch now for the rest of the season. And again, like I'm intrigued. I'm as intrigued with that as I am with the title race.
Yeah.
Because it's not like we have random teams like Southampton again, or like Fulham, who we've seen up and down, Bournemouth, who we've seen up and down. It's like we have Leicester and Everton
Yeah.
floating the bottom of the table right now.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's tough.
It is. It's strange, eh?
Very tough. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, those are the big ones. Let's get to the matches coming up this weekend. I don't know if there's any more midweek matches that are going to be played soon. No, the 29th.
But-
Yeah. So
No, we have 27th. We have tomorrow.
oh, it's tomorrow. Yep, sorry. Southampton, Bournemouth, Everton, Newcastle, Tottenham, Man United. Did you guys see that in the game against Tottenham and Newcastle, that shellacking that happened?
No, 6-1, yeah.
6-1. I saw that there was a post made by Tottenham's like management team, and they're going to issue their money back to all the home spectators that came to that match.
Oh yeah.
They're going to reimburse them for their performance.
Okay. Not totally against that, but
You think that's a good PR move?
I think so.
Like you're admitting that your team was just so god awful that they're going to get their money back?
Yeah. I'm not totally
so.
yeah.
Kind of funny.
That's funny.
They also fired the manager, Stellini, who was the caretaker. In Antonio Conte's absence, he's gone as well.
Okay.
So a lot of moving and shaking still going on with managers and players and teams and stuff.
Yeah.
Like we said, it's still a ton to play for. Most teams have 5 to 6 games left
Yeah.
in the season, and that, those 15, 18 points are really going to make or break the season for a lot of teams.
Yeah.
So always good to watch. Like I said, those games are tomorrow, and then come your Sunday, your weekend. Crystal Palace and West Ham's the early game on Saturday. Brighton and Wolves, Brentford, Nottingham Forest, Man United, Aston Villa, Fulham and City. We touched on that one. Bournemouth and Leeds, that's a big one for the relegation battle. Newcastle, Southampton, Liverpool, Tottenham. Tottenham going back to back with Man United and Liverpool. And before they had Newcastle, they have a whole top 5 portion of the season going on right now.
Yeah.
Leicester and Everton, massive match on Monday.
Yeah.
Holy jumping, gonna tune into that one. And then Tuesday, Arsenal and Chelsea. So it's not the weekend. Arsenal and Chelsea come at you Tuesday on May the 2nd. But man, Everton Leicester, that's gonna be huge.
Yeah, it's a massive game. It's a huge game.
Wow. That could be game of the season. That's right up there with Arsenal and Man City.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Games at the King Power too. So favor Leicester, I guess.
Yeah.
We good, boys?
We're good. Yeah, all good.
All right. I want to thank everyone for listening. Get us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Instagram, all that stuff. We're posting everything on there. Everyone, get your TVs, get your watching, get to your research, get it in the last couple of weeks of the season while you can.
Yep. See everyone.
See everyone.
Bye.
Ciao.